Hello everyone, welcome to this YouTube live. Uh, Hello everyone, where are you from? Chat in the comment box so that I can come to know. Okay, just let me put up. Yeah. Yes, can you hear me? Now in the today's session I am going to discuss about how the market will perform by next week. Okay, and especially if you check up onto the last week, Nifty was in a continuously in a strong uptrend. Okay, from the levels, if you check up here, from the levels of 16,700, it traveled all the way along to the levels of 18,200 to 300 levels in a just one go. Okay, and as January month was a strong month. Okay, usually the January month will be very stronger month. Okay, and as this time it took on to the higher side, and it performed very well, especially if you check up Nifty, Bank Nifty, as well as onto the terms of Nifty mid cap and small cap index. Okay, all in all the sectors were performing very excellent onto the higher side. But what had happened in the last week itself, in the some of the days, Nifty and Bank Nifty are going for some of the sideways session, as well as onto the mid and small cap index. Both the indexes are all the sectors are going for the some sideways movement. Why? Because it has already it is in some of the index sectors are in some of the overbought condition, and it needs to some cool off. Okay, some cool off is necessary. Okay, for before going to that presumption of again onto the higher side, it needs to have to be cool off. Okay, so it will take rest. Okay, now as both the as if you take up the time as well as onto the price, both will go hand in hand. Okay, and due to that, what is happening right now? Okay, and okay, now let's see this chart. Okay, comment in the comment box that is everything is fine. Yes, any questions so far? We'll address those questions and then we'll move further. Okay, and share this video to all your friends and families and tell them that today I'm going to live and answer your questions. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. So having any questions right now? You can chat in the chat box. Okay, now let's go for Nifty. Okay, and if you check out here right now, it has been as a right now the chart is in front of you. Okay, and you are visible the screen. Okay, and if you check out here from this doji, it is on 21st of December. This totally the entire trend has been changed from this low to from this correction to the higher side. Okay, and from that again it's moving on to the higher side, and here it made a doji candle. Along with it, it has made one of our power candle stick formation, and it's moving on to the higher side. Okay, and right now what it has been doing here, it is it crossed this trend line. Okay, before it was the major resistance. Okay, right now here it was the major resistance, and it has been cleared out. Okay, on this onto the higher side it has been cleared out. Okay, so what it is mean making here is the resistance was at 18,200 levels. Okay, and right now it is trading at 18,255. Okay, so more or less the resistance has been broken out. Okay, onto the higher side the resistance has been broken out, and it's moving on to the higher side. But onto the Friday session, if you check up, it closed marginally. It just closed like 2 points onto the lower side. Okay, it is and if you check up onto the bank nifty was down by 100 points. Okay, and onto the bank nifty, actually what had happened here, onto the Friday session it went down. Okay, but it took support from the lower levels, and again it bounced back. Okay, from the lower levels. And you can check out here. Okay, now let's go for daily chart. Okay, and it has crossed our secret trading system resistance. Here it was the secret trading system resistance, and it was crossed here. Okay, and yeah. Yes, and here this resistance has also been crossed. Okay, and for the tomorrow's market, for the next week coming up, I want to say that market will again move out onto the higher side. Okay, but what was the strength? What is the what were the strength it is having before? Last week to last week, it was in a stronger onto the higher side. Okay, the strength is too much onto the higher side. But what had happened during the last week? The strength has weakened. Okay. Clearly it is in an uptrend. Okay, I'm not saying that the market is not in an uptrend. It is in an uptrend, but what had happened is the strength has been weakened out. Okay, and more or less onto the higher side we are attempting for the resistances. Okay, and due to that resistance, again the market is getting weaker. Okay, the strength is getting weaker. Okay, we are not having a stronger strength onto the higher side. Okay, so that one has to be careful. Okay, so we might get more and more dips. Okay, and all of the dips is used for the buying opportunity. Okay, and all in all, market is in a strong uptrend. Each and every dips is used for a buying opportunity. Okay, and if you check up onto the onto the Dow Jones, and what had happened onto the Dow Jones in the last week, here you can check up here. Okay, and all in all, here you can check here. long lower shadows candle. Okay, this long lower shadows candle showing that telling me that no, onto the lower side it has been a stronger support is there. Okay, onto the lower side there has been buyers situated. Okay, and due to that it has been taking support and the closing at the higher levels. Okay, and if you check up here onto 10th of January and next of 11th of January and next 14th of January, all the three strong lower shadows, okay, which is suggesting that a strong strong buyers are there onto the lower side, okay, which is not giving up, and that too it is coinciding with our secret trading system support. Okay, here you can check out here secret trading system support is there. Okay, and yes, and here it is having with the secret trading system support, so that the support is making the sense. Okay, and yes, and this is all about the Dow Jones, and it is making higher tops higher bottom formations, and I mean to say that here it may form another bottom and again it may go onto the higher side, and it may cross this previous resistance of about 36,900 level, 37 to 38,000 onto the higher side. Okay, and if you check up onto the Nasdaq, okay, Nasdaq is very important. Okay, and then what the Nasdaq is doing here, it was having a greater strength. Okay, here you can check out here, it is having a greater strength in terms of Nasdaq 100 I am talking about. Okay, and here it broken out, but okay, and after this break no candle is closing below this trend line. Okay, only this big red candle is closed, but after that it has not been any follow through candle has been happened. Okay, so this is more or less again it is showing me some greater support levels onto this level. Okay, which is at 15,500 to 15,600 levels is a great support zone. Okay, yeah, and again and again it is giving out okay, and if this support is held, okay, and we can head again to the levels of 16,600 levels during the next 1 week or 2 week. Okay, so this might happen, okay, during the next 1 week or 2 week. Okay, and yes, this is all about the Nifty and Bank Nifty. Now let's go Dow Jones and Nasdaq I have talked about. Okay, now let's go for DAX 100. Okay, and here it is with the DAX 100 chart. Okay, and what it had made here, it had made a double top pattern. Okay, and after this it went down, but what had happened here, from this 10th of January it fell down sharply onto the lower side, but again no follow through on this candle too. Okay, so what had happened, for the big bearish candle, okay, like a big red candle, okay, when it forms, after that there should be the follow through selling must happen. Okay, after that levels. Okay, and telling me that there is no stronger selling, okay, into the Germany market, that is onto the DAX market. Okay, so one has to be careful about the shorting of the DAX. Okay, and if I go with now let's go for Nifty. Okay, now let's go for Nifty now. Yes, and here Nifty, if you check out here Nifty, it has been coming in under a correction from the levels of 18,600 till it made a low of 16,400, 16,410. Okay, from that this made a strong correction, and after that exactly onto the 21st of December, which is our according to our trading tactics, it was one of our special day, and exactly the trend changed from that day, and from the downside it exactly changed to the onto the higher side. Okay, and if you check out here, yes, it changed its trend from the down to the higher side. Okay, and from here again there was a stronger rally. Okay, in terms of Nifty there was a stronger rally from the levels of 16,400. It traveled non-stop to the levels of to the levels approximately like 18,300 levels. Okay, approximately like it traveled like approximately about 2,000 points. It traveled, okay, in just one-sided way. Okay, and after this 2000 points it taking some rest. Okay, and moreover, as I told you before, this uptrend, the strength has weakened out. Okay, we are not saying we are not having that strength as of now. Okay, so we might get some pullbacks onto the lower side, which is used for a buying opportunity. Okay, which is used for a buying opportunity. Okay, and if I go for the hourly chart right now, okay, and if you check up here, it has been moving on to the sideways session. Okay, and more or less it is making it is not making a price wise correction, it is making a time wise correction, which is the characteristics of a bull market. Okay, and usually the bull market will not correct by the price wise. It will the bull markets will go for a correction for the time wise, and that is what happening now. Okay, the price is going on for a consolidation, and the time is it is consuming its time. Okay, and that is what it's happening right now here. Okay, and during the next week, any the support. Okay, and for the support is concerned, 18,100 will be the support. Okay, okay, 18,100 will be the major support, and on to the higher side 18,300 will become a resistance. Okay, any dip towards 18,100 is used for a buying opportunity for a target of 18,300 levels. Okay, and once the 18,300 levels is broken out with a huge volume, again we can see the strength coming up, coming back to the Nifty, and we can reach to the levels of 18,500 to 18,600 levels in terms of Nifty. Okay, and if I go for Bank Nifty now, okay, and yeah, okay, let's go for the Bank Nifty. And Bank Nifty, exactly, it is traveling more or less comparable to the Nifty. Bank Nifty is underperforming. Okay, and yes, yeah, this is what I am. Yes, let's go for daily chart onto the Bank Nifty too. Okay, here again it made a doji, and it followed by a big bearish candle. Okay, and after that it made again onto the Friday session, it made approximately like a doji candlestick pattern. Okay, and more or less it is trading above our secret trading system resistance. Okay, and more or less onto the Friday session also it has made long lower doji. Okay, sorry, long lower shadow. Okay, long lower wick you can see here, which is suggesting that the buyers are present onto the lower side. Okay, and if I go for hourly time frame, okay, here it came to the levels of 38,070 levels, and bounced from there. It closed till the level, and it closed at 38,370 levels. Okay, so onto the next week we are having a stronger support, like strong support comes at 38,000 to 38,100 will be the stronger support zone during the next week. Okay, any dip towards 38,000 will be a fantastic buying opportunity. Okay, and onto the higher side we are having a resistance like 38,800. Okay, which is 500, approximately like 500 points away from the current levels. Okay, we are very near to the support levels, but we are very far away from the resistance levels, meaning that Bank Nifty may outperform to the Nifty during the next week. Okay, so all the dips is used for the buying opportunity. Okay, there is no a serious selling may happen during the next week. Okay, and if you have any queries you can type out with me. Okay, yes, and we can expect a target of 38,800 to 39,000 during the next week, one week or so. Okay, it may as we are not having great momentum on both the indexes, but it may take time, like 1 week or 2 weeks to reach to the levels of 39,000. Okay, now let's go for very important chart pattern, which is nothing but the Irctc. Okay, and if you check out here, the Irctc stock actually yeah, if you have any queries you can type out. Yeah, and this is in front of me. It is the Irctc stock chart. Okay, and it has broken out the ascending triangle formation. It has done with the ascending triangle formation. As you can check out here, the each bottom is onto the higher side, but it is making the equal tops. Okay, the same tops it is making. Okay, and I have drawn the trend line onto the higher side, but on each and every successful lows is higher than the previous one. Okay, so that it is making a ascending triangle formation, and it has given a breakout onto the Friday session itself. Okay, and if you check out here onto the Fridays, it has given breakout. Okay, and if you and here it is given a breakout with a huge volume. Okay, the volume has also been picked up, and the comfortably the closing has been very stronger onto the higher side. Okay, more or less like 60 to 70% of this entire candle is outside of this trend line. Okay, suggesting that the breakout is going to be the real, it will not be a fake out. Okay, so as it is accompanied with the higher volume, so one can look around this, focus on this stock. Okay, currently it is trading at 902 to 903 levels. Okay, and it may, and next we are having a resistance like 928 to 929 levels. Okay, once it crosses the 930 levels, moreover the immediate resistance will be crossed. Okay, and after that we can the next resistance onto the higher side we are having at 1280 levels. Okay, 1280 to 1300 levels. Okay, so it might head to the levels of 1300, but it may take time during the next 1 week or during the next 2 to 3 weeks, but it may reach within the like about as it is with the budget stock. Okay, as it is with the railway sector. Okay, and we are headed for the in the February month we are headed for the union budget. Okay, and during that this stock may this stock may be in the focus. Okay, and it may having some news, and due to that and as a I'm going to say that market is always a future looking animal. Okay, and due to that the before that like before 15 days from the budget. Okay, and this stock Irctc has given a breakout onto the higher side. Okay, which is good for the investors. Okay, and we can it can head to the levels of 1300, but it 1 to 2 weeks onto the as per the time. Okay, and it has also broken out this ascending triangle formation with a higher volumes. Okay, and if I go for a weekly chart, let's go for weekly chart right now. Okay, and here too it is comfortably it is in okay, and if you check out here from the 29th of November 1 2 3 6, okay, almost like 6 candles it has closed during the last week. It has closed above the previous 6 weeks highs. Okay, which is suggesting that momentum is gathering out into the in terms of the Irctc limited. Okay, so one can enter the current levels like 900 to 903. Okay, currently it is trading at 903 levels. Okay, one can enter at the current levels, and which is a positional trade. Okay, this is a positional trade, so one can keep a stop loss of 850 onto the lower side, and one can enter it onto the at the current levels, and we can expect a target of first target of 930. Okay, and after that, if it will move on to the levels of 980 levels. Okay, and if it crosses the 980 levels, it can move finally to the levels of 1300 levels in the next 1 week or so. Okay, and one thing I must remember you, and one thing I must tell you, that these are all for the educational purpose. Okay, before making any investments, kindly take the advice from your financial advisor, whether you have to go for the IRCTC or not. Consult your financial advisor, discuss with him. Okay, and if he says go with it, you can go. Okay, and if he says don't go with it, you can't. Okay, so always follow your financial consultant. Okay, why? Because this is only my view. Okay, and not recommending you to go for the IRCTC. Okay, as the chart is suggesting, I am representing the chart. Okay, that's it. I'm not recommending to you go and buy the IRCTC for tomorrow. Okay, and if you're having any questions, yes, you can chat in the chat box. Okay, so we will end this live. Okay, we'll take out all the question and answers there. Okay, and these are my levels to watch out